Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this special Kyushu travel session today. I hope you're having a great weekend. Today, we are excited to introduce the four big cities of Kyushu: Fukuoka, Kumamoto, Kagoshima, and Kita-Kyushu. So from street food stores in Fukuoka to Kagoshima, Sakurajima to castle in Kumamoto, and great food in Kita-Kyushu, we are excited to show you all about the four big cities of Kyushu. Now, before we start, okay, I just want to make sure that I'm talking to people here because I can't see you. So if you are here, all right, can you just raise your hand so I can see everyone? Great. Wow. I'm so excited to see everyone. Okay, great. I think we're having more people coming in. So I will just quickly wait a bit more. All right. Okay, so welcome, welcome. Great. I see a number of you. Okay, so we are going to explore the four big cities of Kyushu today, and I'm very excited to introduce you to Kyushu. So before we start, let's do a warm up. Okay, how many of you have visited Kyushu before? We're going to have a quick poll. Wow, nice, nice. Okay, so press on it. Wow, so it's pretty balanced. So we have about 50% who have visited Kyushu before and 50% who have not visited Kyushu before. That's fantastic. All right, so it looks like those who have visited Kyushu before, I think you really enjoy Kyushu because you are listening to us again this morning. And for those who have not visited Kyushu, well, you are in for a big introduction because we can't wait to show you this part of Japan that you must really visit for your next trip to Japan. All right, great. I think if you still have friends who are joining, please remind them this time. Okay, so let's see. Sorry, I'm having a technical problem. Okay, so before we start the introduction to Kyushu, let me introduce myself very quickly. Hi, I'm Wendy. I'm from Singapore. So I think quite a number of you here, you are Singaporeans. I am a travel writer and I enjoy travel, like all of you here, and I think that's why you have joined us this morning. So I'm a travel writer who write about places. I truly believe that the more we know, the better we travel. So that's why I write about travel. I write travel guides. I host travel sessions like this and share about the places I visited because I truly believe that if you know more, you travel better. And this is the aim of our travel session today, to share more about Kyushu with you. So you can scan the QR code at the top and check out my travel articles. And I also have shared Japan travel trips tips with you. So I'm a huge fan of Japan. I was in Kyushu this August. That's why I'm so excited to share about Kyushu with you. It was my sixth time visiting Kyushu, and I can't wait to visit Kyushu further. Okay, and now this is the exciting part of the travel session today. I'm so glad that you've taken time out of your busy schedule to join us this morning. You will stand a chance to win a round trip ticket to Fukuoka at the end of this travel session. So this is true. All right, thanks to our organizers from the four big cities, Fukuoka, Kagoshima, Kumamoto, and Kita-Kyushu. They have generously offered a round trip ticket to any of you who are watching today. So how do you win the air ticket? It's very straightforward. You just have to watch this travel session till the end. So please join us for the whole session because we have a lot of interesting places and activities to share. And then at the end of the travel session, I will share a survey link. You just have to fill in the survey link, and then you will be one of those who will be considered as a kind of a lucky draw to win the air ticket. Now, we are also sharing this session on YouTube and not on social media yet. So if you like to have more of your friends to join, feel free to remind them to join the Zoom now because there will be more chances for them to win when you have more friends and family joining the session. And we also like to have engagement. So if you have any questions, please put in the Q&A section. I will be answering those questions at the end. So that will also increase your chances of winning when you are more engaged and you ask more questions. Okay, great. Now, before we start, to give you a sneak preview of Kyushu, let me show you what I have experienced as seen back in August when I visited. So this is a short 60 seconds clip to show you the four big cities of Kyushu. Please enjoy. Great. I hope you enjoyed that video. So I took all the clips and combined them together to give you a sneak preview of what you can experience when you visit the four big cities of Kyushu. So now let's start. Where is Kyushu? So for 50% of you who have not been there, Kyushu is at the southern tip of Japan. So it's just above Okinawa, the most southern part of Japan. And it is known to be the onsen capital of Japan. So it has the most number of onsens, and that's why I visited in the first place. And it's also the birthplace of tonkotsu ramen. So there's great street food. And the name Kyushu actually, or Jiuzhou in Chinese, is a reference to its history when there used to be 9 provinces. Today, Kyushu has 7 prefectures, and there are 4 big cities that we're going to be exploring today: Fukuoka, Kumamoto, Kagoshima, and Kita-Kyushu. Now, and how to get to Kyushu? So there are many ways to get to Kyushu, and it's really convenient. So the most direct way is to take a direct flight by Singapore Airlines, and you can go to Kyushu. They have daily flights, so it's really, really convenient. And I think the best thing I enjoy about going to Kyushu is that the Fukuoka airport, the international airport, is very convenient. Once you reach the airport, you can take a very short 15 minutes bus to Hakata Station, which is the city center, or you can take a subway or their train, which is only 2 stops. So other than flying direct to Fukuoka, you also have other options. You can fly to Tokyo, and then you take a domestic flight in, so you can combine like a Tokyo trip with a Kyushu trip for a longer trip in Japan. You can also fly into Seoul and do a transit. So it's really convenient. And if you can see here, from Hakata Station, you can take the high-speed rail or Shinkansen, and you can reach the other 3 big cities very conveniently. Next, how do you get around Kyushu? So Kyushu, the easiest way and the most convenient way is to take their rail station, their rail system, or the train and Shinkansen. So they have very fast high-speed train Shinkansen that can bring you to a lot of the major areas in Kyushu. So you can see that on the map. It's very convenient. And the best thing is that it's very economical. So if you buy the JR Kyushu pass, right, if you look on the slide, there are 3 days pass, 5 days pass, 7 days pass, and they are very economical. And you can basically spend like 7 days taking train all around Kyushu and visit the 4 big cities. Now, another thing that I really love about Kyushu is that another way to get around is to drive, so to do a very scenic road trip. So Kyushu has very beautiful, diverse landscape, and getting rental car is one of the best and most convenient way, because there are many rental cars company in Kyushu that you can rent a car. There are many different sizes. You can have a smaller car, or you can have a big car for a huge family trip. So for myself personally, in 2019, I rented two cars, and I did a 3-generation family trip with my parents, the elderly, my sister, and her children. So 9 of us, and we drove 2 cars all around Kyushu. And the thing about rental car is that you don't have to worry about luggage. So all your shopping can be at the back. And another thing that I really recommend is that when you do car rental, you can actually visit these road stations, which are very local places where you can buy the best local snacks and the best souvenirs. And these are the places that you can easily reach when you have rental car. Then there's also a promotion if you look at the picture here. So if you now combine buying JR Kyushu Rail Pass and rent a car, you get some promotion. So you can check out more about that. Now I'm going to share with you a secret. Okay, what is the best way, right? The best combination to explore Kyushu? It is to combine train and rental car. So what you can do is you can buy a JR pass. You can take high-speed train to connect you between the major cities. And once you reach the major cities, right, you pick out your rental car from the city and you explore more of the city and the surrounding countryside area. So for example, for the trip that I'm going to share about, we took the Shinkansen from Fukuoka Hakata Station to Kagoshima and once we reach there, we pick up our rental car so we can visit more places. So this is great because it's very economical, and it's great when you're traveling with friends, family, young children, and elderly. You get to enjoy the best of both worlds. Now, when is a good time to visit Kyushu? I have to say it's around the year. There are 4 main seasons, just like the other parts of Japan. In spring, you get to see beautiful cherry blossom sakura. In summer, you can visit the islands, enjoy summer festivals, enjoy the outdoors. In autumn, you can see autumn leaves. And in winter is the best time to soak in one of the many top-notch onsens in Kyushu. Okay, so as I said just now, we're going to introduce four big cities, right? So first, we're going to visit Fukuoka. And I'm going to share with you some of the top attractions and activities to do in Fukuoka. Before we start, I want to make sure that everyone is still listening to me. Okay, so let's do a quick poll. How many of you have visited Fukuoka before? Okay, do I see the hand? Can we have the poll to get a sense of how many people have visited Fukuoka before? So Fukuoka is the gateway to Kyushu. It's the main international airport and actually is the place that I really enjoy visiting the most. Great. Oh, so once again, 50%. So I guess most of you who visited Kyushu, you ended up in Fukuoka first. Fantastic. So let me quickly share with you an overview of Fukuoka. So Fukuoka is very accessible and easy to visit. Because of their very extensive public transportation system that is similar to Singapore. So if you look at the subway here, you can see, as I mentioned just now, you take the subway from Fukuoka Airport. It's just 2 stops to Hakata Station, and then after that you can go to Gion, where you visit the old Fukuoka town area, and then you can go to Tianjin for city shopping. Okay, next. So Fukuoka has the best of both worlds. You can experience culture, history, and shopping. So if you go to the old Hakata area, which is the historical heart of Fukuoka, you can visit historical and cultural sites like Kushida Shrine and also Kawabata Shopping Arcade, which is the oldest shopping street in Fukuoka. But at the same time, you can also do all your shopping. Of course, Japan is known for shopping, but you can get all your big brands, your Uniqlo, your Muji, your pharmacy products in big shopping areas like Tianjin and Canal City. So what I enjoy most about visiting Fukuoka is that I can shop and there are no crowds. The lines are short, the lines for duty-free claims are also short. So you can actually really enjoy shopping to your heart's content in Fukuoka. Okay, next, I'm going to share with you some interesting activities that you might not have experienced before when you visited Japan in the past. So one of it is painting traditional lantern. So this is my first time painting traditional lantern. So if you visit Japan before, you know, when you go to restaurants or you go to attend festivals, you see these big paper lanterns, right? And this is something that you can actually do in Kawabata Shopping Arcade, the oldest shopping street in Fukuoka, and in this shop called Kakuta Chochin. So Chochin, they refer to the paper lanterns. So this shop is very special because it's a 4-generation family-run institution, and you can make handmade paper lanterns called Chochin here. So if you see the picture there, I'm very excited. Okay, I'm quite artistic and I love art, so I've created my own lantern, and it's a nice souvenir to bring back. And this activity is perfect for adults, for friends, and for children who are interested, you know, want to engage them in the culture and do something hands-on while they're in Japan. So this is a very fantastic activity. Just for 3,300 yen, you get to do this artistic activity and you get to bring home a very nice souvenir. So if you're interested in this, please take a screenshot of this and then you can go to their website and book an appointment with them for a session. So there can be many people who can sit around the table and they have a very experienced instructor, one of the family member expert who will be making the lanterns with you. Okay, next, another traditional activity that you can enjoy in Fukuoka that I'm a bit surprised because I keep thinking that, oh, I only can do it in Kyoto, but that's not true. So Hakata, being the old city center of Fukuoka, they also have a very rich cultural and entertainment history, and there you have geisha and also maiko. So in this area, this shop called Hakata Geiko Koro Wanuka. So that's where I spent a very interesting morning. You can experience a traditional tea ceremony. So I know a lot of you here, you like matcha, right? So you can experience observing this very interesting ceremony where the Maiko, who is an apprentice geisha, will make matcha. And then you can try it yourself. So you can see here, I try it myself. So this is a very, very special and time-honored tea ceremony that is being practiced in many parts of Japan. And in Fukuoka, it's really, in Hakata, is the main center that you can try this. So not only you can try, you also can try very traditional Japanese cuisine. You can watch graceful dance performance and also watching the Maiko play shamisen music, which is a traditional music, and also take photos for keepsake. So if you're interested in this, the tour goes from 4,000 yen. I highly recommend this because it's very memorable and you get to experience a very special part of Japanese culture. Okay, next is Ohori Park Japanese Garden. So the thing about Fukuoka is that not only you get to experience culture and history and modern facilities like shopping, you can also very quickly escape to nature because they have a lot of green spaces in the city. So in this Ohori Park, it's a very traditional Japanese garden. You can see the landscaping, the beautiful green spaces. And the one very special thing is that if you look at the photo on the left, they have this special mist effect that will blanket the pond at regular intervals. So you get to see kind of this mystical, magical effect of the mist covering the pond during the session. And of course, if you visit during spring and autumn, you get to see very interesting landscape in the garden. Now, the next important part about a visit to Fukuoka is that you must try the Fukuoka cuisine. And that is yatai. So yatai, I'm not too sure if any of you have heard of it before. It refers to basically street stalls. And this is an open air food culture that used to be very common in Japan. But nowadays, Fukuoka is the only place and only city in Japan that has this tradition that is still thriving, and it has become very popular with travelers. So if you can see the photos, right, these are isolated open airs food stores, and you go there and you order very delicious local food. And the interesting thing is that it's very communal. So when you're eating, you can actually chat with the person beside you. And it can be another traveler or a Japanese friend that you might make during dinner. So if you see here, there are two popular places that you can try this yatai food. There's Nakasu and Tenjin. So these are very popular areas. But today I'm going to share with you a very hidden gem that my local friend Palita has brought me to. So there's a yatai area in Nagahama, and it's very near the city center. It's just like 10 minutes by public transportation. But when you're there, right, it is really very local. You really immerse in the local atmosphere because there are not many tourists there. And I visited this um, food store that is run by Hiroshi-san. So it's called Nagahama no Hiroshi. And if you look at the food here, he prepared like very nice local dishes, like for example, yaki ramen, and also motsu, which is their innards hot plate, and a lot of skewers, cabbage, and very delicious meat that have been kind of grilled over fire and then he's served. So this is a great way to really enjoy the local food culture. So I strongly recommend next time if you come to Fukuoka, try the yatai in Nagahama. Okay, and next I want to share with you some places that also a lot of people who have been to Fukuoka might not have visited before. So that if you do a few day trips out, you can go to Fukuoka West Coast. So it's very beautiful. Look at the photo here. It's blue sky. Look at the water, it's so clear. So this is a place that if you really want to relax and soak in the more natural surrounding of Fukuoka. So this is the Kitasaki area. So one interesting thing about this area is that they have this Palm Beach, which is where you can go and relax. There are many cafes around the area. There is also the Jihansu area, which there are a lot of interesting artwork. So you can see here, I've taken a picture there. And I did a very interesting experience where I boarded the Hakata Bay Music Cruise. And with my friend, the cruise brought us around the Hakata Bay. So you get to see the beautiful attractions and the natural sights. And not only that, you get great music and you can bring your own food and drinks. So I highly recommend this. You can take, once again, a screenshot of this and you just have to make reservation. So the driver, or what we call the captain, is very, very friendly, and he can customize the route and the experience for you and your group of friends. And the last place that I will introduce that is a bit further away from city center, that is the Noko, sorry, okay, I see some questions coming in. Okay, so it's a Nokonoshima Island. So this is my second time visiting the island. So the island has very beautiful flowers. And you can just take a very short ferry from Minohama Port to visit this island. And when you visit during the different seasons, you get to see different flowers, and the whole landscape changes with very brilliant colors when you're there. So these are some of the information. You can take the ferry there, the cost, and some tips, right? It's really beautiful all year round, but it's especially beautiful when they have sunflowers in summer and cosmo in autumn. So you can bookmark that. Okay, and I think some of you are asking a lot of questions. That's great. So keep your questions coming in. I will answer the question and answer later. Now, and this is also something that is very fascinating. So Fukuoka International Airport has been doing a lot of expansion and renovation. So the duty-free shop has opened. So if you look at the photos there, it's very big, very spacious, and the duty-free shop is 4 times larger than the old one. And from November onwards, right, you can actually go to the website here and you can make your purchases online. So just do online shopping, and it's very convenient. You just collect your products and your shopping when you're at the airport to fly out. So you can take note of that. And if you are flying by Singapore Airlines, you can also have this very convenient self-check-in kiosk. Kyushu has great omiyage or souvenirs, so I always do a lot of shopping at the airport. Now, next, let's go on to the second city, Kagoshima. So Kagoshima has a very special place in my heart because I visited it 3 times and I always find new things to do. So let's do a quick poll again. Okay, make sure all of you are still listening. So how many of you have visited Kagoshima before? Okay, it might be because Kagoshima is at the most southern tip of Kyushu, so some of you might not have made all the way down, but this is really a place that is so beautiful. Okay, let's see. Okay, so yeah. So based on my prediction, yeah, 20% of you have visited, but 80% of you have not visited Kagoshima. Okay, so great. Now that's why I need to share with you about Kagoshima and why you need to include it as your itinerary, in your itinerary when you visit Kyushu. All right. Oh, can you see the poll? Great. All right, so 80%. So now we have lots to share. We have lots to share about Kagoshima with all of you here. So when you go to Kagoshima, you can also see the photo behind me. This is the main icon of Kagoshima. It's called Sakurajima or Island. So it's a volcanic island. It's still active and it's very visible from everywhere you're in Kagoshima. And it's very interesting because it has a lot of interesting natural phenomena that you can visit and it's totally safe. So it's very convenient. You just take a 15-minute ferry from Kagoshima Ferry Terminal and then you can reach Sakurajima. And one thing I strongly recommend is, remember just now I recommend that the combination to travel around Kyushu is a combined train and rental car. So what I did in the past is I pick up my rental car from Kagoshima station and then I drive the car to the ferry terminal and I could drive my car onto the ferry because the ferry also transport vehicles, not just passengers. So it's very convenient. You and your friends, if you're all in a rental car, you can actually just drive onto the ferry. And once you reach a ferry terminal in Sakurajima, you just drive out and then you can drive around Sakurajima to explore. So it's one of a very good way to explore the island. Okay. So what is there to enjoy in Sakurajima? So of course, being a volcanic island, there are hot springs. So they have this free foot bath that you can enjoy in the Yogan Nagisa Park. It's like one of the longest onsen footpath in Japan. And there are a lot of observatories like the Arimura Lava Observatory where you can actually view the volcano and most of the time you can actually see very gentle fumes because it's kind of gently erupting. Totally not dangerous, yeah, but it's such a great way to see this up close. It's like a live National Geographic lesson when you are there. And another interesting thing that I recommend is I did this a few years back because of the very rich environment they are in because of all the volcanic activity, right? You can actually go to some designated areas. You can make a very small payment to buy some equipment where you can actually dig and do foot bath. So you and your friends can actually dig through the volcanic soil and then there will be hot spring water and then you can do a therapeutic foot soak. And because of this very unique environment they are in, right, you can also see some interesting historical site like this buried torii gate of the Kurokami shrine. So during the 1914 eruption, a lot of the things were buried by the volcanic ash. And this shrine is a kind of symbol of the resilience of the local community because they really live their everyday life around this very important mountain and volcano, and that affects every aspect of their life. But also one thing is that because it's of the volcanic soil that is so nutritious, right? There are a lot of very delicious fruits and food in Kagoshima, like daikon, carrot, and oranges. Now, a very unusual thing that I've tried in Sakurajima is this volcanic ash art. So, because in Sakurajima, because of the volcanic activity, right, you get to see a lot of ash, and they collect a lot of the ash. So they have old Gangu Toge, which is a pottery shop. They have invented this very indigenous way of using volcanic ash to make art. So if you see the artwork here, look at I use a spoon to scoop the volcanic ash, and then I use a volcanic ash like kind of like paint to create this artwork. So I use the colored volcanic ash to make a nice drawing of Sakurajima. So this is a very great souvenir and a kind of nice bonding activity with your friends if you're interested in art and craft. And not only you can do art workshops here, you can also buy very unique ceramics that are made using ash from the volcano and hot spring water. So highly recommend this, and the owners there, they are very, very artistic and friendly. They will, serve you local snacks when you're doing the artwork and also shopping there. Okay, next, another place that is a must visit in Kagoshima is Senkanen. So this is really a very historic residence of the Shimazu family. They are the rulers of southern Kyushu for over 700 years. So the Shinkansen Garden is a very beautiful landscape garden with breathtaking view of Sakurajima and Kagoshima Bay. So if you see the photo here, just from the garden in Senkanen, you can see Sakurajima. It's very beautiful. And you also learn about the rich history of the Shimazu family and also the samurai history. So when you visit their residence, it's really fascinating. And when you're there, you also can take part in craft workshop and also traditional kind of expertise by the samurai. So if you see the top left picture, one thing that they have here is that they have very beautiful what they call the Satsuma um, Kiriko glass. And these are basically very intricate glass that they make into ornamental products and cups and vases. So here you can do kind of a simpler version where you use the glass pieces to make keychain. So I made a kind of nice keychain as a souvenir. And you also, just like I mentioned, you can do traditional sports. So in the past, samurai, they use arrows and archery, right? So this is something that you can do. So I tried it, and it's very fascinating to imagine how life was like back in Kagoshima when it was kind of Satsuma Kingdom. And strongly recommend they have a restaurant where you can enjoy very delicious local cuisine with a beautiful view of Sakurajima. You can see in the photo here. And one thing that I strongly recommend is that if you want to try the Kagoshima version of shaved ice, which is this shaved ice that is called Shivokuma. It means white bear. So it's like us kacang from Singapore, but it's really sweet, and they use special syrup, and they make it in the shape with a face of a very cute bear. And this has become the must-eat dessert in Kagoshima. So I tried it here in the Shinkansen restaurant. So it's something that you can try here next time you visit. Now, next, another way to see Kagoshima City is so a lot of travelers like me, right? When we visit Kagoshima, we go to Sakurajima, Senkanen, and then after that we go back. But actually, you can spend many days in Kagoshima. And one thing that I strongly recommend is to spend some time exploring Kagoshima City Center because it has very rich history and also samurai heritage. So the best way to explore the city center is to do a rickshaw tour, which is very unique. Some of you might not think that, hey, I might be able to do a rickshaw tour in Kagoshima, but you can do. So here, if you see the picture, Yui-san, he is the rickshaw driver, the expert, and he took us around the city center for about 30 to 45 minutes. So this is a traditional rickshaw tour to explore the city's historical landmarks. So include key landmarks like the shrine you can see behind us is a very huge shrine called the Terukuni Shrine. And then he also brought us around Kagoshima Castle ruins and also see some special statue like the Saigo Takamori statue, which is a very famous key leader of Kagoshima. He is known as the Last Samurai. Some of you might have seen movies about the Last Samurai. So very rich culture in Kagoshima, and one of the best way is to do a traditional rickshaw tour. So if you're interested, I have a QR code there you can scan to build this tour, to book this tour. Each rickshaw is for two people, but you can of course do multiple tours if you have a big group. And finally, of course, we need to talk about food. So, Kagoshima, they also have a yatai village. So this is very convenient. It's just next to the Kagoshima main train station, Kagoshima Cho Station. So here is that it's very comfortable. It's indoor, it's air conditioned, and you can try local delicacies. So we spent a very wonderful night here enjoying local delicacy like korobuta, which is the black pot, satsuma age, which is their fried fish cake. Another thing you must try is their sweet potato and seafood. So do bookmark this for a nice dinner, a night out when you visit Kagoshima. Okay, great. Now we are go on to the next city, Kumamoto. So I think Kumamoto, a lot of you might be familiar with because of the Kumamoto mascot, Kumamon. So let's have a poll again. Have you visited Kumamoto before? Okay, good. I think a lot of you are also still asking questions. So continue to put your questions in the Q&A if you have any questions about Fukuoka and Kagoshima, and I'll try my best to answer at the end of the travel session. Interesting also. The breakdown is slightly different from Kagoshima. Okay, let us share the results. Oh, so 25% of you have visited Kumamoto before. 75% have not. So fantastic. Now let me share with you the key attractions of Kumamoto. So Kumamoto, the main attraction and really the soul of Kumamoto is Kumamoto Castle. So it's majestic. Just look at the photos here. And especially during spring, the sakura season, the castle it really glows with beautiful cherry blossoms surrounding the castle. So Kumamoto Castle is one of the top three castles in Japan. It's known for its very steep stone walls and very complete architecture. And if you can see, right, they're very intricate wooden structures inside and outside. And because currently they are doing restoration, right, which is actually great because there are temporary elevated walkway that you could actually walk around the castle to admire it from different angles. So the photo here, I actually took it because I was on the elevated walkway to see the castle grounds and the ongoing restoration work. And if you're lucky to visit during festivals, if you see the photo there, during special period like spring, the sakura season, the castle will be illuminated and there are special events and what they call like pasar malam or matsuri, where there are food stalls that you can enjoy the castle with your friends. So definitely bookmark Kumamoto. It should be the first place to visit in Kumamoto, I think. All right, next, beside the castle, this is quite an interesting attraction that I'm also visiting for the first time. It's called Sakura no Baba Joseon. So it's a shopping recreation area that is just at the foot of the castle. It recreates the atmosphere of an old castle town because in the past, when they have such a big castle, there are a lot of people living around the castle, a lot of things happening, people living, working, selling things. So it recreates that idea of a castle town. There are many local shops that you can visit to do shopping. There's also a museum called the Wakuza, where you can bring children to learn more about Kumamoto city's history and the castle history. And of course, if you like Kumamon, if you see the Kumamon there, that's very cute. You can also do shopping to buy Kumamon souvenirs. Anything from soft toy to umbrellas to pouches with Kumamoto. Kumamon. I actually bought a lot back, but you will not regret. Okay, next. Okay, one thing that I'm showing for the first time. Okay, I'm a bit shy and I don't usually dress up like this, but this is a very unique experience I'm sharing with everyone for the first time. So I did my first kimono wearing experience in Kumamoto. So there are many places in Japan you can experience this, but why is it so special in Kumamoto is because there are so many beautiful landscape. You can take photos with the castle, and the photo here that I've taken is at in one of the very famous gardens in Kumamoto, which is the Suizenji Jojun Garden. And one thing that thanks to my friends who have recommended me is this Wa Collection Mito. So they have two shops. They have one shop just now in the place where I showed you Sakura no Baba, but they also have a shop that's just beside the garden. And can you imagine that everything from they have this whole array of kimono that I can choose from. Then they did my hair, they tie up my hair, and then they help me dress. And everything only for just slightly less than 5,000 yen. So that is less than like $50 Singapore dollars. And I think that is a super value for money. It's very difficult to find this kind of value experience in Japan. So if you want to do something that you like, you enjoy doing this kind of photo taking, as a way to experience Japanese culture and with very beautiful photography, and for memento. And not only that, for special occasion, it could be family photos, portrait photos, or wedding photos. I strongly recommend this. And because they have two shops, right, you can dress up in near Kumamoto Castle, and then you can actually continue to wear the costume and travel to the garden to take another landscape photo. So highly recommend. Take a photo of this if you're interested. Okay, next, another thing that I tried for the first time in Kumamoto that is very memorable is this bonseki. So I'm not too sure how many of you have heard of it. It's the first time that I'm trying this. It's a very traditional Japanese art of creating miniature landscape on black trays using white sand and pebbles and small rock. So it is so therapeutic and calming to do this. So the idea is that you experience making this beautiful landscape. It's a very calming and meditative process. And I did this in a shop that is just beside the garden, actually just near the kimono shop that I shared about just now in Yusui Te, which is a very traditional kind of cross workshop. So, a lot of you have learned about, the different Japanese philosophy like Zen, Ikigai, right? So this is another kind of philosophy that you can try. Highly recommend if you want a break in your itinerary to really immerse in Japanese culture and just relax. Okay, next. Now, how many of you here you are One Piece fans? So we talk a lot about traditional culture, right? As I shared with you just now, but there's also great pop culture, modern culture in Kumamoto. So Kumamoto is the birthplace of the popular One Piece. So I have watched some of the episodes before. It's really great. So why is this considered the birthplace of One Piece? Is because it is the hometown of the creator of this popular anime and manga series. So Ichiro Oda-san is from here. So you can see his photo there. And actually many, many fans, local fans and international fans of One Piece, they go to Kumamoto just to take photo with the statue. And not only there is the main character, Monkey D. Luffy here, but there are also a lot of the One Piece character statues all around the city. So this is great. If you're a fan, you can spend one day just photo taking and kind of being immersed in your favorite manga characters. Okay, other than pop culture, okay, we all love food, right? I love food, and not only that, I love Japanese fruits. So in Japan, you can do fruits picking in different seasons, but Kumamoto is a very well-known place. It's a fruit paradise because of the fertile soil that produce top quality fruits like watermelons, strawberries, grapes, and pears. So I was very lucky to visit in summer, because that is the grapes and the pear picking season. So grapes and pears, they are available from August to September. And when I was there, I actually picked grapes for the first time. So fascinating. Very different from picking strawberries, if you've tried that before. You really go to the rows of grape plants and you really pluck it down. And not only that, the big juicy Japanese grape, the Kyoho grapes. Here you can imagine you can pick them and you can eat them like buffet style. So in this place called the Yohoen Fruits Land, which is just a 40 minutes, 60 minutes drive from Kumamoto City, you just need to pay 2,200 yen and you can pick the fruits and eat all you want for 1 hour. It is super value for money and it's so delicious. And the fruits are the sweetness. they are just so sweet. Once you have fruits in Kumamoto, you'll be thinking, oh, I want to have also similar sweet fruits otherwhere, but it's quite difficult to find. So make sure you try to plan a fruit picking trip when you're in Kumamoto. Now, also, fun fact, Ajisen Ramen, there are many restaurants of Ajisen Ramen in Singapore. But do you know Kumamoto is the birthplace of this Kagoshima style tonkotsu ramen? So Ajisen Ramen, enjoying it in Kumamoto is very different eating it in Singapore because you get to try the signature original flavor, and it is well known for the very rich garlic infused flavor. So this is the I went to their actually original, the what we call the flagship store, and I get to try the original ramen. So a must try when you are there, Ajisen Ramen, and of course other shops if you can find Kumamoto style ramen. Now, finally, to end with a food slide. So, Wagyu beef is a must try in Kumamoto. They are very well known. So, a lot of people think that they want to try Wagyu beef is only Kobe. No, actually, Wagyu beef is also very popular in Kumamoto. They have very high grade marbled Wagyu beef. So, if you see here, well, so I went to this restaurant called Wagyu Yakiniku label, which is very near Kumamoto Station, just at the shopping mall. Just hop over. And imagine they serve this whole platter of Wagyu beef, and the Wagyu beef really melts in your mouth, and you do yakiniku, so you can grill barbecue them the way you enjoy. Now, other than Wagyu beef, one thing to also really try is basashi. I think many of you might not have tried before. So what is basashi? So basashi is actually horse meat. So horse meat is actually a very well-known prestigious cuisine in Kumamoto. So they usually try it sashimi style, but you also can try it in different ways. And they taste really, really very succulent, very interesting texture, and very great complexity to the flavor. So strongly recommend if you visit Kumamoto, have a big dinner, enjoy Wagyu beef, and please try some basashi horse meat. All right, now finally to our fourth city and the last big cities of Kyushu that we will be sharing today. So it's Kita Kyushu. So let's have a poll again. How many of you have visited Kita Kyushu before? Ah, interesting, interesting. So personally, right, even though I visited Kyushu about 8 times already, 6 to 8 times, um, this August was the first time I visited Kita Kyushu, but because somehow I always think that, oh, I'm not too sure what to do there. But the recent trip really opened my eyes to what I could do in Kita Kyushu. So, okay, you see, yeah, so wow, 15% of you have visited. That's fantastic, but 85% have not visited. So what is there to do in Kita Kyushu? Let me share more now. So Kita-Kyushu is very near Fukuoka. A lot of people think that, oh, it's actually quite far. No, so it's very convenient. In less than an hour, you can get from Fukuoka City to Kita-Kyushu. And some of the popular places in Kita-Kyushu to visit is this Mochiko station. So when I visited, I was blown away by it because if you look at the photo carefully, right, what is unusual about the station is, okay, think for a few seconds. It's very different from other train stations in Japan. There are no advertisements. You realize if you look at the photo, there are no advertisement, there are no big billboards, posters, because this station is so historical that they want to preserve the kind of real, authentic atmosphere of the station when it was first built in 1914. So in 1914, this station was built, and it is kind of a historical landmark because it facilitated a lot of trade and commerce that allows Kitakyushu to become a very vibrant city back in the 90s. So if you look at the station, it's very traditional. They have the very interesting wooden structure and also the brick interior. And it's now currently is a functional station, but it's also a place where you can take a lot of photos and get the sense of the rich history of Kita-Kyushu. Okay, next, and Mochiko Station is linked to this whole retro district, which is by the water. So, why is this area called retro? Is because during the time when Mochiko Port was a very vibrant and bustling port. It's still a very vibrant port, right? There were a lot of international influences and a lot of international trade. So as a result, there are a lot of beautiful Western style buildings all around the waterfront area. So now it's very beautiful. It's a very photogenic area. You can spend time shopping. You can spend time enjoying the scenery, and understanding more about the evolution of Japan's history in the area of opening up to the world back in the 90s. And also, Kyushu has an interesting nickname. It's called the Banana City. I was so amused to learn about that when I visited. Why? It's because Kyushu was the first port in Japan where bananas were imported into Japan. First port ever. Okay, so during that time, that bananas, the first place that bananas were sent, and then there were a lot of banana sellers. So it was a very dynamic environment. People were selling bananas. So as a result, banana has become a symbol of Kyushu, and you can find very interesting banana snacks, and there are also banana man icons that you can take photos with. Now, another interesting thing about Kyushu is the location. So Kyushu is the connecting point where you will leave Kyushu to go to the main island, um, the Honshu, the main island in Japan. So if you see here, there's a very beautiful, huge Kamon bridge that connects Kyushu to the main of Japan main island. From there you can go to Hiroshima, Osaka, and Kyoto. So from this a best place to see the Kamon bridge, which is very majestic, is the Mekari Shrine. So from the shrine you can see the Kamon Straits and the Kamon Bridge. And one fun thing is if you see over here, you can actually do what we call the omikuji, which is get your amulet, right, or blessing. Fugu. Fugu is a puffer fish, which is well known in Kyushu. So it's very cute. So I actually did it and I got super good fortune when I was there. Okay, next, we met Kumamoto Castle just now, right? So in Kyushu, there is a Kokura Castle. Is a very beautiful, well preserved, slightly smaller than Kumamoto Castle, but still very, very historical and very beautiful. You can go all the way in, just like Kumamoto Castle. You can climb out and you can get a panoramic view of the Kokura town area. And also they have very great explanations of the history of the town and the castle. And they also have samurais who are dressed, and also people from dressed in traditional outfit that you can take photos with. Now, just within the Kokura Castle area, there is a Kokura Castle Garden. And that's where you can also experience traditional tea ceremony. So you can see the photo here. I also enjoy some very great matcha through the traditional tea ceremony. And also a hidden place is inside the castle garden, right? You can actually see a great view of the castle and enjoy the reflection of the water and the sunlight, and with the castle in the background. So a secret place to stop by when you visit the castle. Now, next, I want to share with you a local favorite, which is the Tanka Market. So Tanka Market is Kyushu very local traditional market. It's known as the city's kitchen because it has been serving locals and visitors for over a century. So there are a lot of vibrant food stores. If you see here, this is one of the popular food stores that have been running for over 100 years. You can get very traditional, fresh seafood, street food, local food. So here, one thing that is popular is the nukadashi, which is the fish that are simmered in fermented sauce. It makes very good side dishes or main dishes when you eat with rice and traditional Japanese food. So definitely visit here. Visit in the morning. It's more bustling, and you definitely visit on an empty stomach because there are so many things to try. And next, this is something also new that I've learned when I visited Kyushu Kokura. They are known for a very traditional craft, which is called the Kokura weave or Kokura ori. It's a very traditional technique where they weave colored threads to make a very substantial fabric that is very, very strong, very durable. And this fabric, right, Kokura weave, was used in the past to make samurai outfit. So these days, they have modernized it. So they use it to make handbags, to make very nice accessories and even paintings. So if you are looking for an interesting souvenir to bring home, this is a place you can visit. Kokura Shimashima is a local shop that specializes in this very traditional craft, and it's really beautiful. All right, how many of you really love shopping? Of course, right? When we visit Japan, I think one big thing is to really shop. And do you know that Kita outlets is a great place to shop. There are many big international brands and also local brands in the outlets, and this is one of the largest outlet malls in Kyushu. So I highly recommend to spend half a day here to do all your shopping because you get really great deals. If you go to their website, you can download a discount coupon that you can exchange when you're there. All right, so Toto Museum is just something super fascinating that you might not think that you should visit, but I highly recommend. So why Toto Museum? So you know Toto, right, is the popular brand of Japan's best invention and best gift to the world, which is the Toto toilet and bathroom accessories. So do you know Kyushu is the birthplace of Japan's most popular bathroom brand? And Toto Museum is so fun and so informative. You get to look at the evolution of this very important tool in our life, toilet bowls and bathroom technology. And not only that, you get to try. They have different sizes of interesting toilet bowls that you can take a look, take photos with. There's one that is samurais, huge size. There are also the very antique ones that you can take photos with. So definitely a fascinating place to kind of add to your itinerary that is out of the ordinary. All right, finally, to end with what to eat in Kita Kyushu. So, puffer fish, as I mentioned just now, puffer fish, which is what they call fugu in Japanese, is a very local delicacy and that is well known in Kita Kyushu. Because Kita Kyushu is surrounded by sea water. And if you see here, this is a kaiseki style, a very, very exclusive style of eating puffer fish where they slice into very thinly sliced sashimi and you really can taste the amazing texture and the flavors of puffer fish. Definitely, I recommend to try puffer fish once when you visit Japan. And this is a local restaurant, Tenga, that has been serving pufferfish since the beginning. So highly recommend that you go there. And it's prepared by the very skilled chef who has been making pufferfish for years. So definitely try pufferfish when you're in Kitakyushu. And lastly, something that's surprising to me that I learned that, hey, Kitakyushu is actually the sushi capital of Japan. So when you're there, you must really try seafood and must go to one of their many sushi restaurants. They have sushi restaurants that are conveyor belt restaurants, dine-in restaurants where you get to try a huge variety of very fresh seafood. Because of Kitakyushu's position, they are surrounded by amazing seafood varieties. Okay, great. Wow, that's a lot that I have shared. Okay, how are you doing? Everyone is great. All right, so if you are still here and ready for the next part of the session, raise your hand.